Logic Hog's Journal, day 968. Mining progress has been slow. We've established a production facility, and I'm sure Moriana would be approved of our progress. However, life is hard in the galaxy of Transylvania on the planet of Transsexual. Because the ground has to be flat. It must be flat before work can be made. So let's just go one more bush. All right, we got one more tree. There's a bush there. All right, just keep deforesting. We got to make a clear path for the loader. All right, let's just come on. There's one there, one there, one there. We'll flatten the ground. All right, get that. We need a good straight run up so that we can just go into the hill, into the hopper, into the hill, into the hopper. So let's flatten this out. I don't want to be bouncing around in the front loader. Is that a different texture? Is that just plain dirt? I don't know. It looks the same there. I don't know. Too early to tell. All I know is that I'm going to be just absolutely ripping into the side of this hill. So all the plants are going to go with it once I start digging out with the front loader. What I don't want to happen is I don't want the trees to be wasted, so I'm going to go ahead and take these down. But I'm pretty sure we're going to get the front loader this video, because Mommy Moriana requires publicity for her mine. And if you are bored, you will not watch the video. But she requires that you watch the video. She is Schrodinger's Necromancer. If it is not observed, it does not exist. But you're here right now. She sees you. I mean, like before the video, she said, hey, look, this person's here watching. You better make the mine. Because you're watching it right now. I mean, you're still watching it. So obviously you want to watch me dig a hole. Well, I assure you, we're going to dig the hole. The hole is coming. And in fact, I think we're about there. Like I said, we've been just flattening this area out, which is gonna it makes things so much less annoying to have them flat. Even just the natural bumps are enough to slow down work so much. It sucks. But that's what this is about. It's about an investment where, to make it look good, you drop down gravel and you flatten the gravel, and that just gives you a road by which to tell, hey, this is where I'm supposed to drive. This has been prepped to say it is, less annoying to drive here. Kind of like how, this is exactly why I was removing the bushes, is that it turns half the tiles, most of the time when you remove a bush, it puts down the dirt texture where it was, so that the bushes won't regrow there in the future, but, it leaves that minefield, pocked out battlefield shape, which I'm undoing right now. However, as you can tell, I mean, you can tell where I've worked and where I haven't, where it's safe and where it's not. And that's the whole purpose of doing this. So that whenever, we get into the thick of it and start actually moving dirt and meeting our purpose, we'll be able to tell, okay, this is our facility. So let's go check how the wood's doing. Well, we got all the beams. Great. Let's put this workbench in a little more logical spot. I want to put this next to all the other production stuff. Let's go ahead and snap it to the grid there. That looks just fine. And we got wood, we got beams. Let's go ahead and make even more beams, because everything... you know what? No. We got plenty of beams. Let's make some planks. Let's go ahead and just... ABC, always be crafting. And I'm ready to dig. If I'm ready to dig, you're ready to dig. But Moriana whispered something to me. She says there's a resource that has been untapped. An energy source that we must suck the life out of and use for the production of our industrial magnificence. And all this stuff requires some electricity. So, alright, we need to power this thing. Okay. How much is that going to cost? Let's see. I know I'm going to need a power input into the hopper. And I don't need it, but I want a power pylon in case something goes wrong. This thing will pop and hopefully won't break anything else. And our factory is going to be pretty freaking small. I don't know whether I want the 500 or the 300 yet, because I know once you get past a certain point, you go beyond 300 watts and you're going to need a 500. Let's check. Let's see how much this needs right now. Well, let's put the power input first. Snap into that and dig it out. Make sure it looks right. So it's just silly if you're running an electrical wire above ground and then it just dunks into the dirt. I don't care if it works or not, it looks dumb. And that's the whole point of digging a hole in the sand. It's the illusion of knowing what you're doing. Because, yeah, you know what you're digging for. You know why you're doing it. It's not like you're doing it for no reason. It's not like you're sitting in a room alone pretending to dig a hole. No, I know exactly what I'm doing. There's a purpose for this. All right, there. That's deep enough. Now let's just make sure there's not dirt sticking up out of the middle of it. Just clear out all that conveyor belt room. That's where it snaps to, and we should be good. Let's just get out of the way. All right, great. Now we have our power input right there. So again, need to make this look somewhat believable. Let's see, want the power pylon. I'd prefer to have these grid snapped also. And right, it doesn't really matter. We're not worried about this right now. That's just, it's there for aesthetics. And again, if you overload the system, this will pop instead of, I've never broken anything else. But it's much cheaper and easier to replace one of these. So I would rather not bust anything else. I know I'm going to need 2 electrical cables. And I want the solar generator because I don't need that much power and I don't want to burn fuel because I don't have the means of using the fuel yet. This is just 42 kilowatts. I mean, really, that's not that much. But, oh, we need a second storage. Because otherwise everything's just going to be building up in that, thing right there. I forget what it's called. And we need a lot of platforms, because this is looking really dumb. Moriana is not pleased by this design. How long are we going to be building these panels? Fine. We don't need that many panels, we just need beams for the blocks. So in 1 minute, we're going to start building blocks. And that will support this equipment there, because all that stuff is supported by the ground, and it looks just fine. In fact, it's something I want to do. Let's just use cosmetic dirt as our #1 resource here. And put dirt back in front there. Because it was kind of looking a little funky with the hopper having that ditch right there. That looks like it's supposed to be hacked out. And we'll make We'll make it look even better later. But for now, I think we're looking pretty good, and I think a 300 kilowatt solar panel will do just fine. We're going to go ahead and grid snap that down in a logically looking place. I want the wire to look like it's supposed to go up to that. And it points generally towards the sun. Okay, that worked out pretty well. Hook that to... snap to that, snap to that, and we have a power grid. On. On? What'd I miss? This is on. 300. Why won't this turn on? Oh, yep, okay. Shit. We're already above 300. I should have counted as I went along. The individual unit load is 42. The grid load for this, the entire thing, is already above 300. God dang it. Okay, well, you learn things. You take the hits and learn your lessons. How much can we get back for it? 13,000. We lost 5,000. And we're going to have to take a loan. The Lerman Brothers, Bank of the Year. Oh, I'm sure they'll be fair. Let's see. I need $10,000. Thank you. No background check, nothing. Wow, they're actually pretty reasonable. Not like I'm working for a all-knowing necromancer from another dimension. No. Besides, that would be financially acceptable, wouldn't it? Snap that to that. Now this should work. Well, once I turn this on first. There, 500. 319, and we've got a running production facility. So now all I got to do is hack this mountain out with my pickaxe, and no. That is inefficient. Moriana is displeased by efficiency. Or, displeased by efficiency. Displeased by inefficiency. So we know we're going to need 46,000 for this loader. We know we're going to have to be paying interest on that loan. So now we're on a time clock where we have to be making a certain amount of money. We got to borrow another 50,000. There we go. Now we got $59,508. And a front loader. Let's go ahead and drop this beast off. But there's a big difference now. Now we have a production facility. So let's start digging. I don't like those plants being behind me like there. It just looks a little unrealistic. But before I just start hacking away, let's zoom in and just make sure I know where I'm digging. Because I don't want to have to like restructure the entire mine later. Alrighty. And this right here is 90% of the gameplay from this point on, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I've tricked you. You're going to be watching me dig for eternity. I haven't been brought here to move dirt. You've been brought here as an eternal curse to watch me move dirt. This is not my punishment, this is yours. And that's why when you're on the toilet, you're going to be watching me move dirt. When you're trying to sleep, your phone is next to your head and you're gonna hear the sound of this engine and watching me move dirt. This is your hell, not mine. By Moriana's design. Ah! Ooh. Wait, is this coal? This might be coal. If that's coal, that's awesome. That's a huge moneymaker. At least early game. We'll find out once it's processed. I want to get pretty deep to the point where I need to adjust it because the vehicle's not behaving the way I want it to. So I got to take it slow. Just make sure I'm getting good, efficient scoops. The little bump at the beginning there is bothering me because that might cause me to tip over and just bounce around a lot. Whenever you're bouncing, you lose a lot of control of the vehicle. The speed goes down. But if that is coal, that is great. And is that lighter colored dirt? I don't know. That might be pay dirt. Pay dirt is kind of what we're looking for now, because pay dirt contains things we can refine in production and start getting some real profitable stuff. But let's go ahead and see what we got right there. I'm going to take, well, first of all, I want to flatten this so I don't bump around. And is this pay dirt? No, this is just regular dirt. Okay, well, we'll know whenever we get pay dirt, because the wash plant will start cranking stuff out. As you can see right here, all of our coal is being pumped into that storage, but everything else, the dirt and pay dirt, goes into the wash plant. So yeah, all we've been doing is getting dirt and coal, which is fine. We'll hit pay dirt eventually, but it's good to know just what we're getting right now, what to expect. All right, we've got wooden blocks. Let's make our production facility just a little less dumb, because gravity has requirements too. I mean, we don't want to hurt gravity's feelings, right? Why won't this snap to the bottom? All right, we're going to have to finagle this. At least that right there does make it look like it's supposed to have an underground, like, wooden foundation. So that, we're going to need more wood. There. Just supporting the posts of the platform. My scratchy throat. It's not like I talk to myself for hours on end or anything while staring at a computer screen. No, that would be weird. All right. There we go. Now it actually looks like, you know, something is actually... I need a couple more. Running underneath there. Yeah, we're still going to need a couple more. Let me just chop a couple trees down and get that working. ABC, always be crafting. Coffee is only available on Moriana's approval. Coffee's for miners, not peasants. Tier 3 driller. Level 24. The Chosen One. I've got $13,000 that's slowly being sucked away by my bank loan, which I always have to keep in the back of my mind. Because technically, while we are chopping down trees, we are losing money. Which kind of snaps me back to reality, where I'm like, nope, dig the hole. Aesthetics come later, hog. Pay off your loan. Get that coal. And the controls for this are actually like, whenever you start, they're very clunky and strange. I mean, if you've played Farm Simulator or something like that, it's kind of similar. But one of the big things about it is once you get used to them, it's very, very just, it gets into muscle memory where they're not complex. They're just a little weird. Having to move your mouse to do like certain directions and stuff like that. Well, once your brain makes that connection where it's just like all you got to do is, all right, I move my mouse right and the bucket does this. I move the mouse left and the bucket does that. It becomes very natural. And so you start to work the vehicles and it just becomes really smooth. Where if you just take it slow, make deliberate scoops, make deliberate cuts, it's very relaxing. Which is why I find it, you know, a little weird to make a video out of this, because, I mean, crap. Watching people play this on multiplayer is a lot of fun, but you don't get to see like 90% of what's happening. I mean, shout out to everybody making videos of this on multiplayer. It's amazing. They're literally like ripping holes out of the dirt. They're taking the crust off of the entire map. But it's all in like, you know, time lapse, and you don't get to see what they're doing. And then you got the other side of it where it's like, great, you got a team of 10 people working on a multiplayer server, which I would love to do. However, don't quite have the confidence to do it yet, because this is a simulator. And I'm used to being on flight simulators where people take it very seriously. So I'm a little intimidated by going, you know, multiplayer on this and getting into a server where people are like, why aren't you using Method D for your underground tunneling positions? And it's just like, I don't know what that is. So for now, it's just single player. I'm showing you everything about this game. And just that, it's just chill. When you get to this point, it's like, alright, you know, great, I dug a couple things out of the earth. Now I gotta flatten this out, because running into the hole is becoming a little annoying and bouncy, so just a little bit of maintenance. Let's square off the walls. Autosave. Yes, thank you. Let's flatten this out. Just making sure the walls stay smooth. And then back to going in and just digging another hole. You don't need any magical powers to prove to a higher being that you're worthy of their universe. You just need a front loader. And a bank willing to give $10,000 loans for no, you know, investment check. I'm getting better at using the excavator too, but they're really meant for different things. Like right now, all I need is this front loader. This front loader is gonna make me a lot of money, and then I can buy a bigger front loader that makes me even more money. But we're going to get into a situation where I'm going to need to look for, like, iron and other things. Because I mainly want to craft everything. I don't want to buy anything. In fact, I've kind of, like, limited myself. I only want to buy resources. So I can buy wood, but I have to craft that wood myself into something. And so it's like, I don't want to buy concrete. I want to buy rock, or even better, I want to find the rock myself. But even with the amount of time that I've put into this game, I mean, I'm new to this. And so I don't have, like, maps memorized. I don't know where everything is. And so I am still very much learning. Even though we're taking beastly scoops out of the side of this mountain. Yes. But you see the advantage now of putting the hopper right there, where otherwise, you know, half of the time spent would be just turning my vehicle around, relocating my vehicle, reorienting it, and that, you know, is time where you could be dumping off resources. And it's like, no, because I don't have to turn 180 degrees, because I don't have to drive down some road to drop this off 200 yards away, I'm making money. I don't know whether I'm going to strip mine this or not, or go underground with it. I'm just kind of digging in a direction right now. I do kind of have an image in my mind of what I'm looking at, where I do need logs, I need trees, I need wood. But again, that's one thing where I said to myself, okay, Hog, it's acceptable to buy wood. You would be able to purchase wood in case you chop down, like, all of the trees. But I know I need wooden planks. I want to develop that production area a little more. I want to buy cosmetic items, because that's one of the big things. That's why this game is so fun. Is whenever you make it look realistic, then eventually you get to a point where the mine has developed into something, and you just take a step back and go, "Wow, this is amazing." And then you look, and Moriana's smiling down on you. She approves. She might resurrect you to be part of her horde again. But not today. No, we have much to prove. We haven't even paid our loans off. And I'm out here hacking down wood. We're losing money. There's loans to be paid. I didn't take 3 semesters in mining school to be referred to as a peasant, thank you. I'm a tier 3 driller, and I shall be referred to as such. Level 24, thank you. Let's get one more tree. Nah, one more tree. Nah, one more. Oh, no, there's a stump there. That needs to go. But there's a tree just, like, right here. It'll just take a couple seconds. One more. Oh, I missed. All right. One more. There's there. This is one. It's on the way back. We might as well grab it. I mean, same here. It's on the way. Let's just take this one too. But right here, it's 5 feet away. Just one more. Come on. Keep going. It's an investment. It's resources. I mean, why would I? It'll take more time to come back here. I might as well. I mean, while I'm here, just take these while I'm going. I mean, it's just, it'll take so much waste of time to have to run back whenever I'm already here. I could just be, you know, one more. There we go. That one. That one, slowly turning my way back to the production. Oh, I can't take that one down. But all right, this one's on the way back. I can literally see the production facility on the right there. But this is off to the left. I mean, take that. It's right here. We're hacking our way back. Hacking back. Just they're right here. I can't just leave them here. Something's wrong with me. Am I a bad person? No, 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 no. The trees are here. They were put here for a purpose. They're here to fuel me. They're here to establish Moriana's mine. It is her will. I am doing Moriana's will. Hacking, whacking, and smacking. All right. In all seriousness, all right. Now that we got plenty of wood, that's 170 logs. That's a good amount. Definitely enough to get us the platforms that we need to finish the look of this facility. And main thing, we're going to need these wooden blocks for a whole lot of things. So we always want to be manufacturing beams and blocks. The blocks I plan on using as like the side supports of the mine. Look, there's a stump. Just one more tree. Right there. Is that too much? Just one more. All right. So let's, I mean, we're not really caring too much about the side of the hill right here, but I don't think I'm going to dig any more closer in the direction of the production facility. That way I kind of want to dig out and at least like just take this whole hill with me. But for now, we're playing short game. We just need to make quick money. We need to take scoops. We need to structure evenly. It's not about efficiency. We need cash, and we need it quick. And while we're digging, we need to make sure that workbench is pulling its weight and making us some wooden blocks. But having coal right here is definitely going to help. I do want to keep the coal because coal is used for refining other things. But in a pinch, you can take that coal and just sell it for like a stack of coal goes for like 40,000 or something like that. Not too sure, but we're about to find out. It won't take me that long to get a stack of 10,000 coal. Especially when we're taking scoops like we are right now. But again, in all seriousness, that's why I chopped the trees off the back of the hill there, is because now we're getting deep enough where it's affecting the plants up above, and we're losing the plants. And if those trees were still... Oh, I'm bouncing. Nope. Park and brake. Level out. Lower center of gravity. And we need to flatten that. Ugh. I did not like that. That was motion sickness right there. But, yeah, if those trees go down because you're mining out the ground underneath them and they just flop off the map, that's wasted resources right there. So that is the last thing I want to do. But we are now getting into it, and I actually like this map. This map is a lot more detailed than the other dimension that they isekai'd me into. So I think my purpose can be fulfilled on this map. We are here to move dirt from point A to point B so that I can put it into Moriana's wallet. And that's about it. I'm gonna keep doing this because, as we say, Logic Hog is here playing what I want, so that hopefully you can find and have fun with another game that you would have never known about. So, done with this video, and we're just gonna pick up right where we left off, digging a hole. See you later.